Hi guys, welcome once again to another review of Love and Marriage DC. And today we're gonna be talking about the season 3, episode 2 of the season, actually. And I- I'm loving this season of um Love and Marriage DC. But before we go ahead and talk about the episode, I don't know if you guys have heard the word on the streets that Ashley apparently has left the show.
Really?
Yes.
No. What? Why?
I, according to her, I'm trying to literally look for the article where she said it. According to her, the season brought out a part of her that she did not like. I think she didn't like how the cast member that is Joy and Clifton, the part of her they made her show, she didn't appreciate that. She didn't love that they made her go to that extent. So sh I felt maybe she feels like that, maybe she doesn't feel comfortable about how she's being portrayed or how she was portrayed, and she has decided to exit the show.
Oh, wow.
So automatically, probably allegedly, she and in the article she was like, probably if there's a new season, she might not be on the new season of the cast. Like she's not going to be a cast member in the new season of the show.
What is she gonna do now? I mean, like, who's buying the first book? Who bought the first book? And who's gonna buy the second book? What is she gonna do now?
She has a YouTube channel. She's reviewing the show, so
Oh wow.
maybe she's gonna continue with that. Well, I don't understand why she decided to make that rash decision. I understand that she might not really like how she's portrayed, because truly watching this season, like watching the first episode, watching the second episode, you'll be like, wow, she has this kind of childish attitude towards some certain issues. But I don't think it's up to the extent of saying, oh, I outrightly want to leave the show. And now I'm looking at the cast members. You literally, in the first season, we had Monique and her husband. Now we did. Girl, if you get into the second season, we didn't have Monique and her husband. They left the cast. Then we had Joy and Clifton joining. Now there's a probability that if there's even a new renewal, because we don't know about that, not heard anything about that. If there's ever going to be a renewal, she might not also be on the cast member. What my problem is now, what's the fate of the show?
Well, I mean,
Because
I don't feel that she was the face of the show or anything.
they
But
don't really have a face, actually.
actually, but I don't understand. And maybe it was, hey, she didn't want to hear the bad uh chatter on social media about herself. Some people are afraid to look at themselves, you know, or
Mhm.
afraid for that negative feedback that you're gonna get that. You're on social media. I mean, people are going to talk about you on social media because you're on national television.
Yeah.
That's a given. It goes hand in hand.
Good point. What I don't understand with her, I think you said she said that she doesn't like the way she was being portrayed. How are they going to portray her other than what she's giving them? I don't
Exactly.
understand these people. They'll say, "I don't like the way I was." How did they get that conversation of you talking about the person's shoes if you weren't talking about their shoes? All we've seen from her is her being nasty towards people, and that seems to be who she is. And I did not read an article, and I don't know if it's the same one you're talking about, where it
Mhm.
says that she's proud to be the face of the flawed black woman. Is that the same article?
Oh wow.
I I didn't even get to read it that much. Probably it will be the same at school because just one at school to say it.
Okay, well, once I saw it was about her, I didn't even bother to read it. But
Oh,
she, so yeah, exactly, because she's not likable, and I don't think these people understand. Most people don't like villains. Most people don't like villains. I mean, we grew up as kids reading children's books, and we didn't like the villain. So now that we're adults, most of us still don't like villains. So you get on here and you're portraying yourself to be this villain, whether you like it or not. We see you talking bad about this couple. You say you're not jealous of them. But what is it about this couple that just drives you mad like this? And then you want to get up in a man's face. So, yeah, whatever. I'm sorry. That's it. That's all I got to say about that.
uh, for me, I don't. When I saw it, I didn't really feel anything because they don't really have like a face of the show. Well, one me I was looking like, oh, first there were three members that started the show, three couples that started the show. Her, Ashley, Monique and her husband, then the Tylers. Then now Monique left. Now the Silvers are probably gonna be leaving. Then only the Tylers are left, and Joy and Clifton. I'm not really a big, huge fan of Joy and Clifton. That's my issue. And a lot of people are really not huge fans of Joy and Clifton. We could endure to watch the Silvers and the Tylers. Now we only have the Tylers and the Silvers. Like, I know we only have the Tylers and the I don't know what's their surname, Joy and Clifton. So
Well, I
I
have a
don't know what's
question
the
for
fate
you.
of the show.
Well,
That's Carlos' show, right?
Yes, Carlos.
Well,
no.
maybe you need
Oh,
to
that's
pick a different.
Carlos' show? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe he needs to
Well,
pick a different state.
that's a good idea. But Detroit is horrible. Detroit is worse. But you cover Ready to Love. Couldn't they get some couples off of there? Ready to
Hmm.
Love DC or whatever it's called.
I
The
mean,
fact is that there are not so many couples that literally do survive after the show.
Oh,
That's the thing. In their season, okay, we have one more couple that is engaged right now, right? What's their name? On Black, forget her name. I didn't really like her in her season, but right now her and the guy are engaged. So I don't know why they're not giving them an opportunity, or probably she doesn't want to be on social. She doesn't want to be on TV again. Some people are just like that. Probably they didn't because she was not portrayed well. Her attitude was nasty, and she wasn't really that liked. Although, fortunately, the guy she was with liked her. So
oh, you're talking about Maurice and what was her name?
not Maurice. There's the tall, handsome guy. Forgotten her name. She was a friend she was a friend of this girl on Ready to Love Make a Move. What's her name? She was a friend of Zadia.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah, I can't remember her name right now. Zadia's friend from Ready to Love Make a Move. So her and the guy are engaged right now. So I don't know. But I don't think she might want to come on TV again after she really didn't do well in Ready to Love. But anyways, I don't know. Probably that's why the show was not really renewed. We didn't hear any renewing yet. But let's just wait and see how it's gonna play out after the season ends. Let's just see. Some people do change their mind sometimes. I've seen why people change their minds after saying I'm not gonna be on a season and you'll be surprised to see them on the new season. So yeah. So let's just wait and see how it is. But I feel like she doesn't like how probably because of the probably people are calling her out on social media. She doesn't like that. So
Well, I just
you know
got
when
one
she was
thing. I have one thing to say. Don't scare me with a good time. You know, I mean,
uh,
she's not one of my favorite people anyway because her attitude is just nasty.
amen to that.
and she has everything to be grateful for. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? She's blessed, she's beautiful, you
Yeah.
know, she has to be intelligent. She's on the show. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have everything to be blessed for, but you choose to be nasty. That makes a beautiful person ugly.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I wish her well. I guess we'll get to find out more probably by the end of the season. Well, let's go ahead and talk about today's episode. As per usual, they started the episode from where we stopped it last week, and that was the continuation of the chat between Arena and Ashley. Now, I was happy they decided that they should just maturely and respectfully just end this, this childish, I would say childish, because I can't remember the last time I did this. Probably when I was younger, very, very younger, because I can't remember the last time I got so upset my friend picked another person. Like, not to this extent. I could understand the fact that I might get upset that my friend was siding with somebody else, but not to the extent that she took it. Not to that extent at all. So I would say it's childish. So I was happy that they decided to let go of that childish quarrel because it was really childish and move on. And because I didn't want to hear about it anymore. And I was glad they didn't give it a long time in the episode for them to talk about this useless quarrel. It was a useless one.
Well,
Absolutely.
my whole thing is, be the type of woman or the type of friend that if somebody tells you something in secrecy, you don't pillow talk with your husband about it. You don't go run to your best friend about it. You know what I'm saying? If you can't be trusted with a secret, then say, "Oh, don't even tell me." If it's a secret, be honest about it. Don't take the secret until it just burns you up, and then the next thing you know, you're just like telling everybody or one person, because you know how that does. When you tell one person, everybody's gonna know. You know, so that's my thing with secrets. You tell me a secret, I'm gonna hold it. Nobody's gonna know.
Well,
Because I got more things to talk about in the bed besides somebody's secret.
but the thing is, when it comes to that secret of joy, I'm slippery slope around it. Like I'm 50% in support of Arena. Sorry, not Arena, Ashley, and I'm 50% in support of Joy. Yes, I know that when you say don't tell anybody about it, I mean don't tell anybody about it. But Joy was not being sincere of the reason why she didn't want anybody. It sounded as if I just wanted, we just had a secret wedding. I don't want people to know about it. But she wanted a wedding special from the show. It's not like she didn't want people to know about it. She didn't want the show. She didn't want the on TV themselves to know about it.
Right, but
That's why she's pissed off because she wanted a
she wanted the
ground special
publicity. Yeah, she
wedding.
wanted the publicity, and she wanted the show to
Yes,
pay for her big wedding and probably
exactly.
honeymoon
Yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly. She wanted the show to finance that big glamorous wedding special that she wanted and didn't want to have to spend that. So that is why Joy and Clifton are pissed off. Why I don't really support them like that. I don't really
Mm,
support the cause of the issue. The only thing I'm pissed off is about how Arena is taking it. And Ashley, sorry, why do I keep on calling her Arena? Is the way Ashley is taking it and the things she's saying in the fight. But when it comes to what caused the fight, I'm not in support of Joe and Clifton. Like I told you, I'm not a fan of them. They always try to manipulate stories, and I do not like them for that. So they wanted to manipulate that story. They are only pissed off that because of she said something to somebody they also know.
right.
And it happened that it was in the front of the cameras. I'm pretty sure if Ashley had told that friend behind the cameras, without the cameras hearing, and the cameras and the speakers hearing it, and the mic picking it up, there won't be this quarrel. So the only reason why they are pissed off is because it was said on air, it was said in front of the cameras, not because Ashley did say it to the friend. They just wanted this storyline of this big, glamorous wedding being held by on TV. So that is
So then,
trying to
and
show me that you're saying something, Jabra.
yeah, I was saying, so then we have to question Ashley's motives. Why would she do that on TV in front of the camera?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said that it's 50-50. I blame Ashley 50%, and I also blame Joy 50%, because the both of them came with motives. They were all biased. No, this one
That's a
had
good point.
Ashley had her own motive. Joy and Clifton have their own motive. It just happened that they clashed in the middle. Arena didn't sorry, Ashley didn't get what she wanted. Joy and Clifton didn't get what they wanted. So now everybody's pissed at each other because I didn't get what I wanted by saying this information. Then you that I told this information, I didn't get what I wanted by telling you this information. So everybody now is pissed off that we didn't get what we wanted. So that is now it's now turning into the shit show, and they are now the other problem is now how they are now going back and forth with the insults and everything. That is the only thing I see in this. The both of them are both to blame. And Joy, like Arena said, if you wanted something, if you really know, you know in your mind of mind that you wanted something and you didn't want anybody to know, you didn't want the cameras to find out at the end of the day, because it's reality TV. Some people use some people's for storyline.
Hmm.
We've seen it time and time and time again, where some people's storyline is the lives of others. So it will be the case that she had to use you guys as a storyline or to have a chat with her friend, something that will make her being talked about on the show. If Joy wanted that to be kept as a real secret, she shouldn't have told somebody that is per se with her on the same show. She should
True.
have kept it to herself. If she wanted to tell someone, she should have told somebody off the show, somebody that was never on Love Marriage DC. She should have all, in totality, kept it to herself, because somehow when it comes to reality TV shows or reality TV series, these things tends to come out in the light. They never stay hidden for long. When you fall out of when you fall out with those people, at the end of the day, it has to come out. So if she wanted not to have those issues, she shouldn't have even told um Ashley. Then Ashley on herself, she wanted to just have a chat with her friend and wanted a topic she would have a chat with her friends with, and she decided to say what she was told. And probably in her mind too, she thought, man, this is want to have a glamorous wedding by own and probably take the shine from me. So let me nip that in the bud. Let me not give them that, that glamorous wedding. Let me not give them that a shining moment, because who doesn't love to see a beautiful, glamorous wedding on a reality TV show? Who doesn't? So everybody came with their own agenda. It's just that nobody got what they wanted. So that's why everybody's pissed around the table.
Plot twist, huh?
That's just it, though. That's how I feel. None of them got what they wanted, and they are pissed off. So I really don't regard their issues. I just don't like what is happening from the issues. That's the only thing I see. I don't care for what caused the issues, because everybody came with an agenda. And when you come with something with an agenda and it's not a good one, there's a 50% chance that it doesn't work in your favor. Everybody knows that. Except if it comes with something with a clean mind. Really. They were hiding it from us. In the first season, in the second season, the first part A, they were like she was telling the guy that she didn't want a big wedding, like if they could just have a secret wedding that nobody will know about. That was what I thought they wanted to do. All of a sudden you're getting pissed off because you wanted a wedding special. So you were planning it from the beginning. So everybody should just like you all had agendas. So lucky for you, it didn't work out in your favor. Moving forward. Now, this is one thing I felt very, right from Ready to Love, I didn't like that clique. Carmen, Joy, and Clifton. For me, they were bullies on their season. They try to bully others. They try to exhaust themselves as this. Right from time they've been treating themselves as a trouble, right? And then I overlooked it because they were single, and they were not. There was nothing really that going on. But now that Joy is married, officially married to Clifton, I don't understand this trouble. I don't know whether you saw the picture because they showed a picture in the episode. I don't know what I had it. Okay, yes. This picture where he was out with her, away from his wife, and Carmen is fully endowed. Fully endowed. Dan, Dan Joy. Now you're standing with he said something in this episode that whenever Joy is away and she mostly works out of the country, whenever she's away and he needs someone to be with him for the PR stuff and everything. I'm like, I don't understand PR stuff, like acting as your wife or what?
Can
Because
you please
the reason he
explain
was,
to me?
yeah.
I'm sorry, my sound is bad. Can you explain to me his relationship with this lady? Was she also a contestant on the show when they
Yes, she
were
was
all
also a
on there?
contestant on the show.
Yes.
But he and her
She was one of
never
his love
dated.
interests.
But were they
They
physical, he and
dated.
her?
They always date everybody. Like they were always flirting with each other. But at the end of the day, he decided to go with Joy.
Okay, was he physical with this lady?
Uh,
Not really physical, but
Okay.
um,
Or I should
they
say
had
flirted
intimate.
with
I
Was
would
he
her.
say they had a
intimate with her?
personal relationship. They had a personal relationship where they
Were
fed
they
each other
intimate?
food. Well, I don't know.
Oh, okay, okay. But he chose Joy. Okay, but he connected with her. They were cool, and Joy was cool with her too. And so now they're
Yeah.
all
Mm-hmm.
friends. Okay.
Yeah.
Has she had a lot of
Yes.
plastic surgery?
Who?
Allegedly, has she had plastic surgery? This lady.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. That's it. That's all I want to know. Thank you.
Okay.
So the fact is, you came from the show as a trouble, then she's now married, and you're still doing this trouble thing, and you're like, every time I go on the show, I just want to be with her. If my wife is not around, she's the one that stands in place. I didn't understand that statement. Stand in place in what way? So you guys go out together, she's dressed like this. Your wife is not there. Please, you have blood flowing in you. Even a pastor will get tempted by this. You have blood flowing. You see this kind of, beautiful body in your front, and you tell me your wife is away. Sometimes Joy can be away for 4 months, and your wife is away, and you're always with this lady. It's a very slippery thing to me, and I don't understand for the life of me why Joy we condone this kind of nonsense. Because look at the way she came in hugging him, and she like, oh, touching his beard, and like, ooh, smell not. I was like, no, no, this cannot be my husband. I will be giving you a dirty slap. What's the meaning of that nonsense? Oh, I don't care whether we are friends. I don't want to know whether we are best of friends. We even came out from the same womb. Like, I don't want to know. Don't do that to my man. Like, don't. and she was so carefree even without seeing the, and the way she was like, you have to tell Joy to like take it. I understand that that is business, but the way, I don't think she also has respect for them as a married couple. You could see it in their conversation. She doesn't have respect for them as a married couple, and that is a bad thing.
As far as I'm concerned, she has crossed every line that I would have had. Okay. That wouldn't have been going on because it can only be one star in your life, not stars, star. You know what I'm saying? So all that vacationing when I'm out of the state, or out of the country, hell to the no. We're not doing that, you know? So I don't know what type of arrangement, they have. Like, hey, when I'm away, you can do whatever, or only with Carmen, or, you know, I don't know. Three is a crowd. I don't like nobody touching all over my husband. You know what I'm saying? Don't smell him. You can smell him from afar because, yeah, he smells good. You know what I'm saying? But up close under his neck, you know, or frontal hugs. And I'm not a jealous person. It's just about respect. You know what I'm saying? You do that kind of stuff, that means you don't respect me. So you know, fuck respecting the marriage. You don't respect me as a woman. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what Joy's problem is. You know, maybe she's cool with it because Clifton won't have it no other way. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out because me as a married person, nah, that's the kind of shit you do when you're single. And that could be easily arranged. you know?
Yeah, I saw that she's just too flirtatious. For some reason, it seems like she thinks it's cute. And when she, touched his beard, I didn't like it either. And like you made a good point saying maybe she just accepts it because that's the way he is allowing it or having it any other way. I don't know. I wonder how long this is going to last. Is she not in a relationship, the other lady?
I don't know.
So did she end up with anybody when she left the show?
I don't think so.
No, she did not.
She did not. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. That's all
they
I have to
they
say.
were they were in trouble herself. The trouble started from the show itself. They became a group of bullies that bullied any other person that questioned. In short, a lot of people were finding it questionable, and they anybody that found it questionable, they were bouncing on you, like they came hard on you. So they've been like that from the onset. But I thought it's just like, you guys were just on the dating show, I understand. But now that there's marriage in between, I think there should have been a boundary. Like that is what it's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a boundary.
Exactly.
There is supposed to be a boundary. And did you see the time where he later went home to have a chat with Joy, and he was like, I spoke to Carmen and she said you were not just doing enough. And he said something like, I understand that Joy has a lot of things going for her, but she's not just doing enough. And I'm like, how is this she doing enough? You had a back surgery, she's your caregiver, she's taking care of you, she still having to go to her work, and a lot of things going on. And you say she's not just doing enough.
Yeah, I didn't like that comment either. I just thought it was like, dude, for real. She's trying to work her shit. You trying to work your shit. You know, you should have some type of knowledge of what you're doing. You know, you should have been asking more about, hey, how long does it take for this to be copywritten? You should have been asking these questions. Go get an attorney, have a consultation, you know?
Like it was giving me, I'm not appreciating. I don't appreciate your and you did you notice that even when he was talking to her about the situation when he was like, oh, you need to, hand over to Carmen. She didn't find she was not really happy with it, but she just went with it.
Right.
Because it sounded to her, because it looked to her that probably she too was not, she too didn't like the way it was presented to her, because it was like as if she was just lazing around, not doing anything.
Yeah, not doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
When
That
she
that's
said
the
she
way it looked.
designed everything and she designed the package, the logo, well, she's been busy. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know.
What kind of work does he do? I heard him say he has to work his 9 to 5. What does he do?
I don't know.
I don't even know what he does, but I know she's a musician that travels a lot. So I don't know what
Well,
he
Ashley said she
does.
was a wedding singer, a karaoke
Yeah.
singer.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. Why does Ashley keep saying stuff like that if you're not jealous of somebody? It's not like Joy is going around saying stuff about her.
Yeah.
I think I know. When you bring somebody in the food and you think the person is gonna like literally worship you. Do when you say jump, she jumps. When you say back, she backs. I think that was what she was expecting of Joy, but I don't think she actually watched Joy from her season, because if she had watched Joy from Ready to Love, I don't think she would have had that mentality that Joy would become that kind of person that when I want you to jump, you jump. When I want you to listen to me, when I want you to be on my side, you be on my side. If she had watched Ready to Love, she wouldn't have thought that. So that was her mistake. That she thought that Joy was gonna be like at her beck and call every second, listening to her, worshiping her, those kind of things. That was her fault. Because Joy is no pushover. If there's one thing I know about her, she's no pushover. She would not allow you to push her. Instead, she would be the one that would push you.
Yeah, Joy don't take stuff from nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like Joy. She doesn't take no stuff. When she first met Cliff, she knew that that was her dude. So she allowed him. Yeah, okay. Well, we got to go through the process. Go on, you have your little dates. I'm gonna have my little dates, but we know that we are gonna be together. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what made me like Joy. Because she allowed him. As she allowed herself to date other people. But those two had a bond from the first time they met. You could just see it. And yeah, Carmen, she tried to get in the middle of it, because she wanted Cliff. But see, I can't be friends with you and we want the same dude. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Because it's
right,
always going to be some type of competition, and I don't have time for that.
right. And even though she's playing friendly and nice, she needs to
Yeah,
get some business of her own.
exactly.
Yeah, you coming around touching his face and telling him he smells good. So you got to watch out for people like that.
Mm,
Because they are the worst.
yeah,
Those that do things at your back and laugh at your face.
yeah.
Hmm.
And then start talking negatively about you to him, saying things like, oh, she's not getting this done. I could have gotten this done for
Mm-hmm.
you 4 months. I'm not,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like, she'll start saying stuff to start, making Joy look bad and Joy thinking that they're cool. But, you
Right.
can't just, Yeah, you can't just trust these people and thinking that all is well and that this person has your best interests at heart when this person wanted
Has
your
a
man from
hidden
what you guys
agenda.
said from the
Yeah.
show. Yeah,
A sore loser, you know?
right. And if she doesn't have a man of her own right now, then that's a problem too.
Exactly.
She
Exactly.
needs to get a hold of it. Like the person I will blame, right, is the person that still decides to stick to her as a friend. I understand friendship, but decides not to keep a boundary to that friendship. I
Well,
have
yeah.
friends, and I know that when it comes to their boyfriends, they are not even married. When it comes to their boyfriends, there is a boundary. I don't just cross. And even the ones that are married, my friends that are married, when it comes to their husband, there's a boundary I don't also cross. No matter if probably if we even me and your husband were friends before you got married to him, there is a boundary I don't cross. That is a normal thing. And if you stay and you watch your friend behave anyhow with your husband, you are the one allowing it. So anything that happens, it will be your fault. Although yes, we would blame the man for not, you know, being on his own. But this particular kind of one, you were liable for it because you saw it. You saw it and you allowed it.
Yeah,
I
maybe
would have
Joy
cut you off
feels
as
like
a
she's
friend.
not. Yeah, maybe Joy feels like she's not enough. I don't know.
Really. With the way he was looking at her, I don't know whether she's watching a different clips than the one we are watching. He was enjoying it. When she was touching his beard, and there's another thing. There's a way a guy that doesn't like the attention he's getting from another lady would react. The way he was he was leaning into that touch.
Yeah, he was a little too happy.
Mhm. He was leaning into that touch.
Oh, we'll see what happens with them.
He was still trying to justify it. And those men, they've been married, they know how their wife acts. You could see what they were saying in their confession. I was like, wow, this is the wrongest thing for him to do. No husband does that. There should be a boundary where you draw this line. This is my wife's friend. I don't care if we had a connection. I don't care if we ever had or dated or anything. There should be a line you should draw, even as yourself as a man. But both Joy and Cliffs them himself, they're not drawing that line. So man, this trouble, I hope it's not going to turn into a disaster tomorrow.
Yeah, we shall
I hope it
see.
doesn't. We should really see. Now we also saw Joy having a conversation with Winter, and apparently maybe Joy had warned Winter to be careful with Ashley. We didn't see that. I don't think we saw that conversation during the last season, the part A. I don't think maybe it was off camera probably, and I see that they might probably become close, Ashley and Winter, because they are bonding over the fact that Ashley has actually kicked them off a party, and I um and they now from friends of Ashley to now enemies of Ashley. So I can see them becoming close friends outside. Although right now I know that I feel like Winter is close to Ashley. I don't know what happened, whether they mended their relationship, but it seems like she's close to Ashley. Well, we'll get to see that more on the season. But let's talk about Winter meeting her sister. like I said last week, I feel like Winter is a very lovely, let me say, a lovey-dovey person that becomes blinded when love is involved. Because the way she was talking to her sister, as if 4 months was just too long to know a person for a relationship. I love the way her sister was telling her, "Calm down. You've made this mistake how many times?" She was only saying twice, and she reminded her of her kid's father. And the fact that she's still trying to look as if maybe 4 months is still how would I put it? It's still enough. Who thinks 4 months is enough to know somebody that much? We sometimes we don't even know somebody that we've even been together for so many years. Talk more of just 4 months of knowing somebody. Do you think she has a problem when it comes to love, or she just wants to be loved so bad that she's blinded?
Shit. 4 months, you with a job, you just getting off of your 3 month probation after 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So four
Yes.
months, no, that is not a long enough time to actually know someone. You know what I'm saying? I believe in long courtships because I need to know who you really are. I need to know your family. I need to know your friends. I need to know what your thoughts of what you plan on being and doing in 5 years. Where do you see yourself? You, you know, I need to know these things. It's funny. I was watching something and a comedian said, "Hey, you need to know when you start courting somebody or going with somebody, whatever, you know, or liking somebody, you need to ask them these questions. How's your credit score? You know, um,
Mm-hmm.
do you bathe? And how often is that? you know, you need to know these things about these people, because next thing you know, you're dealing with a skunk who's a cheat, and he stinks anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think 4 months is not enough time. It takes years to know a person. You want to see them when they're happy. You want to see them when they're angry. You want to see them when they're sad. I want to know what to expect, you know, what your patterns are.
Exactly. Like for me, I feel she's just too lovesick.
Yeah.
She just wants to be loved so bad that sometimes, like her sister says, it's blinded. She gets blinded a lot. And I don't want her to get blinded anymore, because after that incident with her ex, I don't think she should be going through that kind of issues again. I think she should have become wiser. You know, she should be wiser than that. It might not be financial issues anymore. There are a lot of issues that can happen. There's a lot of issues that might reveal themselves later on. It might not be financially. She might get that. She might get the financial aspect covered, but there's still some other aspects. It might have a lot of hidden skeletons. Who knows?
I think it's line because I heard she has a YouTube channel. I don't know if she still has. It's so empowering for women. She has a great ministry going on, and I think it's just a storyline. I mean, I did not care to
Really?
try to record in the studio. Yes, for it because I'm not uninteresting.
Or you think it's just a
So she was
storyline?
giving us the person that her. Have you watch her YouTube channel? She is. I think it's in this guy. Yeah, yeah. So I don't believe it because her being loved. She's to be
Show up
channel. She
your listening
seems
is breaking.
come on there, very empowering for women. She has a ministry going on. all this stuff, and then this is what we're getting on you and this outward-looking man. The two don't even look like how he looks like he's a lot
Oh,
younger than she is. It just seems so awkward. Yeah, it just seems awkward. I think it's a storyline. I don't know.
really? Oh, wow. Well, I guess we'll find out more as the season goes on. Maybe this is a storyline or whether they're really together because she still says she has a man. So, although she doesn't really show him, so probably they're broken up. Now let's go to the message. We had a very big issue today where in the first the part A of season 2, um DJ Quick called the Tyler's son, Jamie, little Jamie, a bad child. Now he went on Instagram and tweeted something. I say tweeted. He went on Instagram and posted some things. He said, "Part some of the things he posted. How the fuck would somebody who got shot and stabbed get some nerve to call someone bad? Life be so perfect. I forgot." Then posted a lot of things on his Instagram story because of after watching the episode where Quick called him a bad child. Then they decided to have a meeting. They decided to have a meeting where they have a chat together where they talk about everything, the Silvers and the Ashleys. So I wanted to throw it out there because, in my own opinion, I don't understand why you call somebody else's child bad. And I look at it because of my own mom. I'm taking it from my experience of how my late mom was. My mom might call you bad in the house, call you, tell you how she didn't like your attitude, your character, and everything at home. But one thing she's not going to tolerate is if somebody, an outsider, she doesn't care who you are, comes to say, "Oh, your child is bad." Yes, you might have called me a bad person, right? But she will never tolerate you, an outsider, calling me that name. So I did understand where Jamie was coming from and the Tylers were coming from. Yes, we must have called my son because they were saying that we're calling our son a bomb and the rest. We know that Jamie was really like the way he was talking about his son in the last season. I myself did not find it funny. I didn't like it. I didn't understand how he could be saying that about his son. And I also think that it's because of the things and I think because of the things Jamie was saying about his son that made and gave, and in such a public manner, because Jamie was always going off on little Jamie in public when they were in a party, when they were in that ceremony. I've forgotten what they were doing. He always went off on Jamie in public, not in private. I think that's where him and my mom might be different. But if you give people like, it's just like you're giving people a notation about somebody. Of course, when people start calling that person that name, you should know it came from you. Now, as much as I don't like Quick calling little Jamie a bad person, a bad child, I know he got the nerves from somebody else. And the person he got the nerves from was little Jamie's himself, his dad himself. Because if little Jamie's dad has not publicly announced of how much his son was a bad child, of how much his son was a bomb, of how much his son was so much of a frustration, another person would not be able to actually voice that out too. You have voiced it out in public. You have given the person the opportunity to be able to voice that out. And I think that is where me I'm coming from. I feel like Jamie gave DJ Quick, the guts to call his own son a bad child. And I didn't like that the quick was quick to say that, because children sometimes mess up, and parents sometimes talk about their children. But the only thing is that I feel like whenever Jamie wanted to talk about his son, he should have said it in the confine of their house, in the confine of their home, within the family itself. It's not going to go outside. Nobody's going to hear about it. But now we have a lot of people hearing about it. We have people, people, even people that were not from the show, hearing about you cussing out your son. So if they go home and call your son a bad child, you gave them that idea. You gave them the nerve. You gave them the rights. You gave them everything for them to call them out. But if he was saying it in private, then came on your own side to say, "Oh, I'm literally is a bad child." Then you would answer a question: Why are you calling my son a bad child? What did he exactly do to you? But he gave them that allowance. That is what I would say about this. But probably if somebody else has a different opinion, but for me, I would say that Jamie gave Quick the fuel to say that about little Jamie.
Yeah, what I wanted to say about that is, yeah, Big Jamie, of course he was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Um, no child is 100% perfect. I have five of them, you know? So, yeah, none of them are perfect, but they're my perfect. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever their shortcomings are or their flaws may be, I'm going to guide them through it. I'm not going to blast it out to the world. I'm not going to put it on social media. I'm not going to Facebook it. You know, I'm a address it with love. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who I am. I'm the parent, you know. So yeah, Big Jamie was wrong. And quick, I don't know, like if you're somebody's uh what is he doing? He's his like trying to make him like out of his little protege, or he's
Yeah.
counseling him, or whatever it
Mentee.
is. He's what?
It's mentee.
Oh, he's mentoring him. Okay, you're mentoring somebody. You're not supposed to tear somebody down just to try to help build them back up. So yeah, of course, Quick was wrong. I didn't understand the attitude. I didn't understand the yelling, the screaming, the cursing. You know what I'm saying? So that situation just wasn't even right. None of it. And I can understand how little Jamie was hurt, because one thing about the children is who they are now, or young adults, who they are now isn't going to be who they're going to be 10 years from now, or even 5 years from now. You change. If you live, you change, whether for the best, the 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 worst, you're going to change, you know, into a different person. I'm not the same as I was in my 20s or my 30s or my 40s or my 50s. You see what I'm saying? Because things I would have went for in my 20s, I never go for it in my 60s. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I just thought it was wrong or Quick, wrong or Big Jamie, and I understand little Jamie and how hurt he was, but I'm happy he was able to resolve everything and accept the apology and to apologize.
Well, I have to say, I really, it really irks me to hear them call him a little Jamie. He said he's 26. Like, I can see them referring to that, like, when they talk about him in conversation, but when they talk to him, they call him little Jamie. When she said, little Jamie, to come down the stairs, they're calling that him little Jamie to his face. That annoys me. But what I was going to say is that I quick gets on my nerves because he's so good for trying to involve himself in little Jamie's life, I guess giving him advice. But who's running your household?
That part.
Exactly. Your wife is out here running roughshod over everybody. She's a bully. She's nasty. She's rude. She seems like she runs you in the household, but then you want to try to get involved with this boy and try to tell him what he needs to do. Gets on my nerves. Like, stop trying to make this boy, I shouldn't say boy because he's a man, he's 26. Stop trying to make his situation your storyline while your
Right.
wife is out here doing the stuff she's doing. And then she's going to get up in a man's face. Can't wait to see that happen. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. But did you? I wanted to throw this question before we come to an end for today. The way he went on Instagram to like vent out, did you feel like that was right? Considering I know it's a reality TV show, but considering the fact that they were family friends and close friends, did you feel like him venting it out on Instagram was the right thing, or probably it's just like they say a Gen Z thing? Or he should have handled it better by, okay, these people are my family, my close friends. I could have easily just called quick and be like, I saw and heard, I watched the episode and I heard what he said about me and I didn't like it. Please, let's have a chat about it. And, pour his grievances and it could have ended there. Then going to Instagram and saying those things.
I mean, look, yeah, you got to understand the age difference. They grew up with that. They grew up with, what was that, Space Time? No, what was that first one? MySpace or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They grew up with this technology, you know. So I, no, I don't think it was wrong. He wanted to express how he was feeling. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a person doesn't have the words to say how they're feeling, and letters are obsolete, you know, and sometimes I feel maybe you just have to put that conversation somewhere, and maybe he felt like putting it out in the open where people could comment on it so he could see if he's tripping about the way he's feeling, or should he just be like, okay, he's in his 40s, he's having a tough life, he's dealing with a lot with his wife and whatever else he got going on, so that's how kids are. Well, he's not a kid, but that's how young people are, you know they put it on social media, everything, where they're going, what they ate, which movie they're seeing. They put everything on there, you know
Yeah.
so no, I didn't think it was wrong.
How about you, Shabriati?
Yeah, I agree with Living for My Girls. This is what they do. They put everything on there. And I'm wondering if he did it for a storyline. Did he do it so that they could then have this conversation? I don't know. Wasn't really interested in it because the way it ended, he forgave them and that was it. So it's like, huh? I mean, it's good that they came to a resolution, but he's like, I'm gonna go get me something to eat. That kind of bothers me about him because he's 26, but he's childlike. Like, them calling him little Jamie, and even with us talking about him, it's just like, I does he seem like a 26-year-old man? Like, they need to stop calling him little Jamie. They need to stop that, not to his face. And he needs, well, maybe he acts like a younger person at home because when I think of 26, he's almost 30. I'm going to get something to eat. And then he was about to cry. Didn't he look like he was about to cry when he was yelling back and forth with Cliff?
Yeah,
Why are you cursing at me? Just like 26. But I think she Ashley did say that he grew up sheltered. Is that what she said? Sheltered or
yeah,
some
sheltered.
impression. Yeah. So yeah, I really don't have much to say about that. But yeah, they do. They do post stuff and regret it later.
um. Anyways, truthfully, like you said, Shop, right? The way he literally just forgave that easily, I started thinking, was it like a storyline thing? He wanted airtime. But anyways, I'm happy at the end of the day that it was resolved because that shouldn't have been like a big issue at all. And I'm happy that they've resolved it and they can move on from everything. I think we've covered everything. Is there anything we didn't cover in the episode? I'm trying to think of maybe something that happened that we did not talk about.
The wrestling match.
Oh,
I was
that
just
was
joking.
funny.
I was just joking.
I know, but that was really funny because I was like, what the fuck are they doing there? Like, what are they doing there? But it was very funny to see them do that. Very funny. But thanks that you mentioned the wrestling match. Um, Now that I remember the wrestling match, did you see the way that Ashley was saying about, or what she said about them when she asked her husband, "Did you invite Cliff?" And he said, "Yes, he's in the friend group. Of course, he's going to be invited." And she was like, "Oh, now Jamie is Clifton's best friend. Now every time anywhere Jamie goes, Clifton is there like a big bad red." I'm like, really? Like she
I'm
really
wondering if
sounds like a child.
I know. I'm wondering if she's attracted to Clifton. That's what I'm beginning to wonder. Is that what it
Mm.
is?
Oh
Is it
wow.
because he's big and strong looking
Ah,
and masculine looking? You
So
know,
you
is
trying to
is that what?
you trying to say quick isn't? Oh God.
I'm just beginning to wonder, like, what is your problem with those people? What did they do to you? It's like from the beginning, you have an issue with this couple. At least give them a chance to do something to you. But you got an issue with them. So I'm just beginning to wonder, like, is it because of the size difference? Like, Clinton is huge compared to
yeah.
yes, and he's attractive. He's masculine. Even when he talks, he's got that swagger. And what is it really? What is your issue with him? What did he do to you? What did Joy do to you? Did they do anything to her? She did something to them. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I thought it was kind
That.
of funny when they
Mm-hmm.
were wrestling and it was Cliff's turn to lift the guy up and throw him down. Did you see how high he dropped him from? And the other guys was looking like, shoot, yep, we're not messing with Cliff. Yeah,
Bad back at all.
yes, exactly. Yeah, he'll toss your ass. Yeah,
Funny. And like you said, Shop, right? Next week we're gonna find out how it's gonna end up for Ashley when she really goes raw face factor with Clifton. I don't understand what made her do that, but I
In
can't
a
wait for
man's
next week's
face.
episode.
Exactly. In a man's face.
Yeah.
And then you'll be saying that, oh, he tried to intimidate me. You got up in his face, a man's face.
At the end of the day, we'll start crying wolf. You went on his face. I really want to see what is going to happen in that episode. I want to see what is going to happen because I want to know what made her like had that thought in her mind. Like, yeah, I want to go at his face. I want to because from the this thing. She was talking with Joy from nowhere. She trashed at Clifton. Uh, I want to see how that is. Guys, thank you guys for joining us on today's review and recap on Love and Marriage. This see, don't forget to join us next week also for another recap. And also don't forget to join us tomorrow for RHOP. We'll also be covering the new episode of RHOP. And don't forget to click the subscription button, guys, to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Unfiltered User, and also Shop Reality TV's YouTube channel. See you guys next time. Have a nice day.